Previously on Watch Logistics.
I actually did get a new watch.
I'm very intrigued. I have no idea what it is. I'm very, very intrigued.
It's a chunky watch.
To me, it doesn't look that clear. Maybe the glass quality isn't the best. Feeling the case, my initial thoughts was that it was plastic.
He's a bit of a sucker for good marketing. After this conversation, even though if we're talking negative crap about it, this watch is going to have a lot of memories for him that he will never forget.
This is the sequel to Daniel's watch, episode 1.
Hey guys.
Victor and I had obviously a good time talking about the watch, the circumstances surrounding the watch, and try to be as, how would you describe? We try to be as gentle?
Gentle and blunt.
Gentle and blunt. We were stuck in a dilemma.
Yep.
We were stuck between a rock and a hard place.
Yep.
When you were describing to me what prepared me to scene and what have you, there were just a lot of things that were just sort of ringing in my head, a couple of red flags here and there and so forth. So I thought, you know what? I got to do you the justice to do some research on it. And the wash up of all that research, wasn't as positive as I had hoped or trying to avoid. And then I was stuck in a dilemma between, well, do we tell you the truth? Do we rip the Band-Aid off and chuck a couple of knives in your stomach? Or do we try to really give it an objective viewpoint on that particular purchase? It made it extra hard.
Yep.
Because you spent your hard-earned money on a watch that you have personally been looking at it for so long.
Yep.
You had a lot of wings that you thought you scored, and you did, according to your measurement, right? And it was for your 2-year anniversary here at TGL.
Yeah.
We could have stayed silent on it, but because you were so excited about the watch,
Right.
you had already did all these beautiful, fantastic shots with that watch. These dramatic, with you standing by the boat and looking all Tom Cruisey. I mean, that was already out in the public. I mean, the horse was bolted.
Yeah.
And then to say, well, we can't really stay silent because then you would have been left hanging. And you can see, as I'm talking now, even as sure as I am, I'm still struggling to try to put a sentence together, right? Because I know it doesn't bring me joy to bring this news to you.
Yeah, I respect that.
But at the same time, it breaks my heart that you have spent your hard-earned money on a watch brand. To be honest, it's not even the watch brand's fault.
Right. Yeah.
You can't blame a fox for being a fox if you allowed it into the hen house. And this is why I think, we went to this watch event over the weekend, we released a few clips.
Yeah.
And I think by you just being in the watch community, talking to different brands who had a stand there, like, let's face it, dodgy brands will never in a million years participate in any watch events where they wouldn't.
Yeah.
They would not, because watch lovers will not allow them to get away with it.
I've actually found that, because the event had multiple days where we're going to different brands and stuff. I found some people in the brands, I was talking to them behind the scenes before they'll do a presentation, and they said the watch lovers know watches more than the people there.
That's right.
And they're like, we need to double check, and I'm like, oh, they won't notice if you said anything wrong. But no, trust me.
No.
I have to double check, because if we say anything wrong, the watch lovers are.
Watch collecting, most of the best watch collectors in the world, they're the biggest nerds in the world.
Right.
They go through every detail. They will tell you the part number of the bloody hairspring, for crying out loud. You know what I mean? That's the nerd level we're talking about. And by you being that circle, that will enrich your entire experience and educate you a hell of a lot more than whatever I can tell you about it. And I think that's a good start.
Yeah, I loved it. I learned a lot at Watch Fest, and
And you did some great shots. All of the interviews we did. It was just you making sure you cover all of the angles. I think you did a fantastic job. So yeah, Victor. I mean. That's, I guess, my follow-up words that I want to sort of give to Daniel now with sort of insulting him in front of him, as opposed to the first episode he was behind the camera and we sort of didn't ignore him.
Yeah.
I feel like it's sort of like an intervention. That's new. It's like different.
You got anything to add?
You know, hopefully you won't see it as every time you wear it, you know, you get reminded of this situation. It leaves a sour taste in your mouth.
Well, I think Lars put it best. Like watches, they're more than just the watch itself. It's to represent time.
I recommend to all my friends, for example, when they have a child or something, I go buy a watch, right? Because the poetic thing about that is that then that beautiful moment, you buy that watch at that moment for that event. And because it celebrates that moment, and it's a mechanical watch, it lets that moment run in perpetuity if you look after it.
So the fact what it represents, there's always going to be something special about it because it does represent the 2 years. I got into watches from TGL, so there's always going to be that attachment. So I think if it was just a watch by itself, which I got randomly, the flaws would sink in, like will sink through a lot more. And though those flaws are still there, what it represents is still.
One of the credits I've got to give you is that you never failed to just have a laugh at the situation, right? You are really good like that.
Right.
And I think just by keeping that watch in your collection, it'll be reminded of what not to do. But at the same time, every time you look at that watch, it's going to bring you back to this moment where we had all this fun talking about it. These are the memories created by that particular timepiece.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
And we double check, we lock the windows.
Moving on to the second part of this particular segment. It's become a bit of a tradition that we have a subject matter, then we have like an unboxing, and we have one here. And this was bought from Star Jewels, or better known online as Starbuy. I met the owner, Deepak, for the first time. We interviewed him as well.
You guys hit it off.
Oh, well, it was very easy to hit off with Deepak because every watch he had, he knew exactly what that watch was. Check him out, guys. Great prices. Deepak gave us a great deal on the day. Great deal. And as a watch lover, when you hear someone talk like that, you're like, yeah, man, that guy's in my camp. You know what I mean?
There's people that like work for the brand.
Yeah.
That don't know too much about
That's
it.
right.
The watch lovers.
That's right. That's right. He's not just a business owner pushing out some watches. And then we got talking, and then he go, oh, why don't you have a look at, you know, the Squale? I'll call it Squale, but then, well, sorry. We don't know what it is yet. All it has, the brand is called Recyclable. Deepak tells me it's not Squale, it's Squale. You're shark in Italian or something.
Squalo.
Maybe if I can give you advice, get rid of that. Get rid of that. Or maybe put it on the inside or something, you know.
Usually it's just that little symbol.
Yeah, or just put a symbol on it. That detracts away from your brand, man. Recyclable, you know. Recycled. I got you to choose this watch, didn't I?
That's right.
I said to you, Daniel, we're buying a watch. Choose the one so we can do an unboxing for our viewers and what have you.
They had a few different options. It's sort of different.
That's right, that's right. All the watches we review here, we spend with our own money on it, okay? It's our own money. No brands give us anything and so forth. We should start a Patreon page. You know, because this isn't our day job, guys. I mean, we can't unbox it. I mean, this is going to get very expensive very quickly, you know. As these two young guys, and even Jerry, maybe behind the camera, he's got his new watch on before us to celebrate his birth of his new son. Oh, not new son, birth of his son, new son. I think there's a market there for audiences to not just look at these fancy YouTube channels that's sponsored or being promoted to say something about watches, but from your own experience where you spend your own money to decide to buy that watch.
Yeah.
So yeah, so if you want to support us, give us some money and we'll buy more watches.
I guess as a quick plug, 7 Friday had some crazy watches. I think that's a watch. That's like a brand I'll be keeping an eye on.
Yeah. Mimika Senpai is a lovely guy too. He knows a lot about watches and he knows a lot of people in the watch industry as well. They're really cool watches. Yeah. Well, the clip that I think you did a fantastic job. You know, put a link up so people can link to that. So back to Squale or Squale. I've known this watch for a good number of years.
It's fitting that a brand that helped create some of the earliest dive watches should take its name from the shark, a champion of evolution.
This has been around, I believe, since the 50s.
Wow.
50s. They were known as case makers. they make the watch cases for
Yeah.
all the other brands.
When it came to making dive watches, nothing was as important as the water resistance of a case the watch would be built around.
The most prominent brand they make cases for is the Blancpain 50 Fathoms. Blancpain 50 Fathoms diver is the granddaddy of divers. That was the original diver before Rolex even became famous for their dive. You know, not my flavor, but you've got to respect the the heritage and the tradition.
Yep.
They used to make cases for that watch. So a lot of YouTubers out there and some other people, they'll rubbish Squale because it's not a watch maker or brand, right?
Yeah.
It's like, well, dude, man, they're part of the watch industry. They've been around since the 50s. It's a lot longer than most brands, micro brands these days. Squale, once upon a time, held world records for the depth gone. I believe it was 67 meters. At one stage back in the 60s, that was a world record.
Wow.
By the diver.
Yeah.
Both in Japan and maybe in Europe or in France somewhere. And they were wearing a Squale diver or Squale diver.
Squale watches were worn by many of the top divers and world record holders of the time, including Enzo Maiorca, Jacques Mayol, Jean Tapu, Juliana and Maria Treliani, and the Cuban national team, winners of the 1967 World Spearfishing Championship.
So they've got a lot of heritage. It's Italian, and we will have a look. Ooh. So Daniel, tell me, why did you choose this one?
Well, it stood out to me. I mistakenly thought it was blue, but I love the grey look to it as well.
It is blue.
It does look a bit blue, but they
It is
corrected-
blue,
yeah,
but
right.
but it's a very unique blue.
Yeah, it's like a...
And I'm glad you selected that one because there were the black version or this version.
Yeah, and the black looked nice, but this stood out.
This is a very unique blue.
Yeah.
This is what I believe, it's probably like what we would describe as a slate blue. It's got that really greyish tinge to the blue, right? And it's a matte finish. Yeah, look at that. Now we're talking without the plastic. Hey, what do you reckon, Victor?
It's very pretty. This looks green to me, though. But because I'm
Okay.
colorblind.
Are you colorblind?
I'm colorblind. Yes.
Really?
Yes.
That's why with that spreadsheet I asked him to do, I said, make sure, but it's all grey. What the fuck? Okay, what are you doing, man?
But I like that color.
Ooh, yeah.
Nice, yeah.
And the pops of orange with that slate blue and I'm glad you didn't choose the bracelet because I thought if it was a bracelet it'd be too much metal. It brings a bit of elegance to a dive watch.
Amazing.
Yeah. Okay, look at the underside of this strap. So it's like a silicone strap. Which is perfect, right? Because it's a dive watch. So you're meant to go get it wet, and this should be fine and be very comfortable. You can wear it in the water without any, worry about the leather being affected. And the back, okay, it's not a display case back. Didn't expect it to be, but it's neat.
Yeah.
The polishing is great. It's almost like a Rolex S-style type of case, but hey, they make cases, so they know what to do with the casing. This bezel is ceramic.
Okay.
So that's why you see the bezel, you see the shine.
Right. Yeah,
So this is the same material as what Rolex uses.
I was gonna say
Yeah,
it does look a lot like
yeah,
a Rolex.
yeah,
like,
yeah.
I wouldn't-
So the reason why it's got that shine, it's because it's ceramic bezel, and it's a sapphire crystal.
Yeah.
Okay, it's Swiss made. Well, is it Swiss made? Does it say Swiss made? Yeah, it's Swiss made. So it's got a beautiful loom. The noise, look, it's not the worst, but it's probably the lowest point of this watch so far. I don't like it 100%. It could sound a little bit better. The tolerance on the bezel action is good. But I love the slate blue. You got the almost faux patina finish with where all the loom is. The applied markers it's all being well finished and edged and so forth, so it catches light, so it makes it even shinier. The fact that this is a ceramic bezel insert is fantastic. Let's do the crown jiggle test. Tolerance is good.
Oh, good.
It's good. So the movement is a Sellita SW200, as to be expected. It's a workhorse, it's a Swiss movement. All of the finishing, the markings, it's perfect. The color's great, very unique. Made in Switzerland. What more do you want? I mean, especially at the price point. This is advertised, I think, You can probably get it online somewhere anywhere between $1,200 to $1,500.
I wonder what the size of the case.
This casing will be, I think, looking at this, probably be a 40.
Spot on.
Yeah?
Says here.
Oh yeah, it is. Okay.
Wow.
I almost said 39 because it doesn't. It's for whatever the combination between the bezel width and the dial.
Yeah.
It makes it look a little bit smaller than what it is, right?
It's very, like, yeah. I was gonna say it looks smaller than the.
Try it on.
40.
Try it on, Daniel.
Yeah, it's even smaller. Than
Take that WR50 off your wrist, man. Jeez. Oh my god.
One eternity later.
Take your time, man. It's alright. It's only memory cards. What do you reckon?
Yeah, it looks very nice.
Huh?
Very, very beautiful.
Isn't it?
Stunning. Feels good as well. Yeah.
I think you should deliver the news, Victor.
Daniel, I don't think you should take it off.
No way. No way. What the No way, right?
It's yours, my friend.
Oh, wow.
Congratulations on 2 years at TGL.
Holy
Right?
shit, wow.
This is first and foremost, is to celebrate your 2 years at TGL, but also because you've done great work at TGL and the amount of growth you've had at TGL from all of the marketing videos from our first episode to now. All our viewers can go online and see the quality. You can just see exponentially growing, right? And Daniel has been super instrumental in all of those developments. So look,
Shaking.
it's not to reward you for your stupid decision of acquiring the other watch, but it's to reward you for the good work that's on display for everybody to see. And I would not live with myself as your colleague that after 2 years of you saving up to celebrate an event of your accomplishment, that the watch you purchased is the one that marks that milestone. And I couldn't let that go by.
Right.
So I thought this is the sweet spot for that.
Wow. Dude. I lost my words. Wow. Holy shit.
Yeah, I have lots of words. This is absolutely stunning watch. I'm going to be wearing pretty much every day. Yeah, beyond words. Thank you so much.
Welcome.
Okay, I guess I'm putting it back. Wow, amazing.
Okay. Checking out. Oh, no, before we go, one of my watches that I put a deposit down over a year ago has finally been completed.
Wow.
Whoa.
And it's currently on its way from the UK.
Ooh.
Exciting.
I will
Okay.
receive it next week.
Wow.
And this is a special one. This is a special one. And so I can't wait to do a live, not live unboxing, but a real unboxing on that one. And there's so much to talk about this particular watch.
Wow.
We're just
What's the
watch content back to back.
Okay. All right. Can't wait
So
for it.
stay tuned.